How to create 30 days of content in 3 hours. So if you've ever looked at content creation and thought, I do not know where to start, but also this is a really time-consuming part of my business, then I'm here to break those beliefs today, because you can plan a full month of content within 3 hours following this strategy. I know this because I created a 7-figure home staging business harnessing the power of social media and didn't have a large team to run the business, stage the properties, get the clients, and do the marketing. I had to do all of those jobs. I wore all of the hats and still managed to put out consistent social media content. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you my structure of how to create 30 days of content in 3 hours. Let's dive in. I remember when I launched my business, I was that person on social media who's only on there once a year to change their new profile picture. I remember though, one day I did have an urge to share what I was doing with my home staging business, and I got a few inquiries from just posting one property I'd staged. I realized that I was onto something. There was something here with social media. I think this may be something that could grow my business quicker. And at that time, I had no experience of it. I had no clue what to post. I hadn't had any formal training, but I started to notice the type of content that would get me engagement and the type of content that would ultimately lead to sales. And I started to put it into this method, which I like to call 3 pillars. And now I can write 30 days of social media content in just 3 hours following the structure that I created, that is aimed to not only get you sales, but also build a connection with your audience that may not even buy from you right now, but may buy from you in a year, 2 years time. Now, if you think that social media is going to be an overnight success for your business, I hate to tell you, but you're probably wrong. Yes, I have had clients put out one post and get clients from it. They've probably shared it into the right places, or the right person has seen it. But social media really is a game of consistency. And I know this because I got one massive win after I was very consistent on this platform. It didn't happen overnight. Yes, I got clients time and time again. But when I hit the jackpot with my social media account, it was actually after 2 years of consistently posting on the platform. Previously, a year prior to this big win, a potential client contacted me and asked if I would quote to stage their 2-bedroom property. I'd given them a quote of roughly $2,000 and they said it was too expensive. I then continued with my social media journey, posted consistently a minimum of 3 times per week. That then same potential client came back to me and advised me that they'd taken on a block of 45 apartments. At first, I didn't really quite believe that he wanted me to quote or it would even go ahead, but ultimately what happened and what he said in his message was, Liv, I've been watching you for the last year. I'm super impressed what you've been doing for the business. And now I'd like to go ahead with these 45 apartments. Could you give me a quote? This quote totaled £250,000, £250,000. And a few days later, I got the message into my inbox saying, I'm ready to go ahead, let's do it. It was one of the biggest and best days in my business, and it really was that thing that was a game-changing situation for my life, I would say. It's what helped me really level up the business and scale it to go on to earn 7 figures. So with that in mind, did I know that was going to come from posting consistently on social media? No, I didn't. Was there a promise at the end of posting consistently, showing up every day? Did anyone promise me that? Absolutely no, but I'd done it with the blind faith that something big was coming anyway. And that's what I'm really asking for you to do when you're consistently posting on social media. If I promise you £250,000 in 12 or even 24 months time, how would you show up every single day? I want you to take this mindset into the strategy that I'm about to share with you. Let's dive in. So the strategy that I'm going to share with you is my 3 brand pillars. Now, I recommend posting a minimum of 3 times per week. And this works in really well with the strategy because you can actually choose one pillar each of your posts per week. So you're posting 3 pillars a week. What this basically means is you're going to have a well-rounded social media profile where you're hitting all the bases, and you'll be able to see what those are once I dive into each one of them. Now, your first pillar is your expertise pillar. This is the pillar where you're really going to, one of my new favorite sayings is flex your expertise. You're going to show your audience that you have the expertise in the industry and the business that you are in. So this can look like anything, sharing from the transformations that you have created in properties, why you chose to stage rooms in certain ways. Flexing your expertise would even mean posting testimonials from clients to share that you are the leader in what you're doing and you can actually provide the result that you have promised other people. If you don't have a portfolio yet, if you don't have any clients, you can flex your expertise purely by just sharing industry stats, what you know to be true, what are your home staging hacks, and how you actually bring the transformation to life. When we really step into that expert space, people are going to start looking up to us and looking to us for our services, and you need to be flexing it once per week minimum. Now, the second pillar that you are going to share from, and undoubtedly my favorite pillar, this is your story pillar. This is the pillar where we're really going to create connections with those in our audience and our following. Social media is all about creating connections. If we actually take the 2 words, social really means relationships and media really means content. If we flip that round, we're creating content to really cultivate relationships with our audience. You want your audience to like you. Now, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever worked with anyone that you don't like? Have you ever hired a company and not liked the person that you're dealing with? Absolutely not. People hire people that they like, and your story pillar is your opportunity to get across your personality, but also your background, which gives you a little bit of credibility too. Now, I always ask this one question at my events. If there's 100 people sitting in the room and I give all of them an opportunity to quote for an installation. Now, let's say everybody in that room is the same price, they all have the same staging abilities, they all have the same brand, and there's nothing to differentiate them but themselves. Now, one person is going to be successful in securing that sale. And the reason they'll be successful is because the person who chooses them will have the most connection with them. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Now, this could be anything. They could connect with them on any level of their story. For example, they could connect with them because they're also a mum. Or they could connect with them because they also worked in corporate and want to leave their 9-to-5. Now, you need to remember, if your dream client is a business owner and is involved in property, you're also a business owner, so you're got that in connection. Now, you're not going to connect with everybody, and that's okay. I don't have children, so maybe someone would connect less with me than they would if I did have children, and that's okay because that's my part of my story. So within this pillar, we want to be likable. We want to share a little bit of the behind the scenes of who we are, who our personality is, and this can be as serious from sharing your origin story. I was bullied in school. I was told that my business would fail. I was ruining my life. So we can go as serious down that route and share the trials, the triumphs, the challenges, the obstacles along the way, or we can share some really fun stuff. Like I share my dog Kevin, and people love him, and it's something that people remember me for, that I have a dog called Kevin and he's awesome. So it's just a fun way to build connections, whether it's fun or serious. Show all sides of that personality. Now, your third pillar is the their needs pillar. This pillar is all about your client. We're now done flexing your expertise and telling your story. We're now thinking what's in it for them. Now, this pillar is also a really super simple one to build on, because what we're going to do here is so fun and also really quite cool. So any objections that you've had from your clients in the past, it's too expensive, I'll just do it myself, any of those sorts of objections, we can take them and turn them into a piece of content. How fun is that? So if my client says, I'll do it myself, then I'm really going to challenge that thinking, make them feel understood so that they think, oh my gosh, Liv is in my head. That's exactly what I was thinking. And often when we break down their objections, they haven't even thought it fully through. They haven't thought out every stage of it. So for example, I'll do it myself. We're really going to explain the staging process, how long that would take them, how long it would cost them, and if they were to use a service like ours, then it'd be a lot more hassle-free and a lot cheaper as well. So that's when we build out those explanations. It could be challenges your clients are having, or it could even be frequently asked questions, something that's going to add value to your audience. Now, if you loved hearing about the 3 pillars, I share way more in depth in this at our in-person event, StagerBoss Live, and I want to give you an invite to join me there. Just go to StagerBossLive.com and I shall see you at an event. We've got 2 full days of diving into your marketing strategy and growing your home staging business. Just head to StagerBossLive.com and we'll spend 2 full days together.